Now, you went to WCW. How did that come about? Eric Bischoff obviously contacted you.
No, he didn't.
No? Okay.
No, Kevin Sullivan did.
Kevin was booking at the time?
Yeah, Kevin and Nancy were up there.
Right.
Went ECW, remember?
Right.
And then Kevin went down to WCW.
You brought in Eddie, Chris Benoit.
Eddie, Chris and all that, yeah.
Dean.
Yeah, and then I got a call from Gary Chester, and he had told me that they were doing the filmings down at Universal.
Right.
And so they wanted to talk to me to come in. And so I did, and I accepted the job, and Kevin wanted me to work with Dave there for a little bit. I came in with this big old black hat and black dress, so nobody knew who I was the first couple of tapings. So that didn't go as well. And so then they put me with Flair. So that was amazing.
How different were the political dynamics in WCW compared to WWF?
So totally different. Vince's organization is a family owned. Turner's is nothing but corporate. I mean, Vince may be corporate to the people that work in corporate, but Vince's office they were always accessible. The corporate office, Turner's corporate office, they knew nothing about wrestling. Yet they were trying to run a wrestling office. They put the guy in Bill, what's his face?
Bill Shaw?
Yeah, they put him down there. He's a wrestling fan. I mean, this is a businessman. Had nothing to do with wrestling, nothing whatsoever. And it just seemed like they had people in the wrong places.
Do you think also with WCW the boys ran the asylum?
Of course they did.
Right.
Of course they did.
Was Hogan different at the time? Because now you're working with him in WCW compared to WWF.
No.
Is he the same?
It was the same.
Okay.
He you mean you what you want to know is did he like get glory happy? Did he get the big hat? Hey, if I made $100 damn grand for an event, I'd be a little bit glory happy. But to me, he never was. He was the same Terry.
Right. What were your early impressions of Eric Bischoff?
Eric Bischoff, I thought he was cute the first time I seen him. I really did. I thought he was cute, you know. He had that TV face. Of course, I remember him from coming in to the AWA and being the announcer there. And that was right at the end when I was leaving. And so I had remembered him a bit from there. And so the slate was clean up to this point. I mean, we didn't have any problems. So, you know, my initial thoughts of him, you know, this could turn out to be something cool. He's a cool guy. He's willing to give me a chance and not try to pull any kind of BS on me. Yeah, he was always straight up. I know that Eric and I had our disagreements because Eric thought that I was doing things. Got back to the drugs again. Pulled me in the office one day after I moved to Atlanta. But this was right after my mother had threatened to have me committed because I had a drug problem. So a few days later, I go right into Eric's office. He had called me in for a meeting, and he says, "Sherri, we have the facilities and the means to help you. Do you have a problem? Do you have a drug problem?" I looked the man right in the face and told him no.
Do you regret that?
Regardless of whether I regret it or not, it happened. I can't change it. What I can change is what I'm about to say. For so many times, I have dogged Eric Bischoff. I had so much resentment toward him.
For what reasons?
For what reasons is because at the point in time when I had the drug problem, the very things that he was getting on to me for, he was allowing others to do. The camera, just like yesterday when we started to do this interview, I had drank 3 beers. Okay, this is what Ron is not telling you. I drank 3. Rob is. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Rob is not telling you. I had 3 beers, and I hadn't had 3 beers since like July 18th, and I could not even concentrate, especially after I saw the in-depth questions on this interview. But what I noticed the difference in me now is years ago when I was working for Bischoff, I would not have hesitated to give you that interview.
Right.
But today, the difference is because of what Eric Bischoff did, and because I don't know if anybody else listened to him or tried to help anybody else, but all I know is if he wouldn't have taken the actions that he took, I might not be here. And for that, I'm grateful. Now, what his, the way that he dealt with other people, that's for him to decide.
Now, did you come to WCW planning just to manage, or did they say that you were going to wrestle there, or was it just pretty much managing?
It was up in there. It was just managing to begin with, and then as my problems got a little bit worse, and they brought Medusa back in, my body had just gotten to the point, and my brain had gotten to the point to where I just could not do it.
Right.
I could not perform up to their expectations.
Now, how did you wind up getting paired with Ric Flair?
Oh God, Kevin Sullivan did that to me. Yeah, Kevin.
It worked.
Yeah, it did. Wait a minute, was it Kevin or Rick? One of the two did it to me. I can't remember which.
Huh.
But when we did the thing in Charleston and wore the Sting makeup, we came out. We didn't know which way we were going to go. That was not long after I got there, I think. And I had when Sting came through the ropes and gave me the crossbody, when I fell back, if you look through the tape, there's like a puddle there, and you can't tell if it's blood or liquid. You don't know what it is. So everybody in the back thought for sure that I had busted my head open. Well, I had a nice little egg back there, and let me tell you, I had to shake it off. It took me a little bit longer than usual to shake it off. But I also had to get ready because I had to climb my happy ass up on top of that turnbuckle and splash Sting. So I had to really shake it off. That was a rough time. It was funny, but I don't know if it was Bischoff or Flair, but it could have been both of them.
What was Rick like on the road?
Rick on the road? Rick's just an amazing. He talks about his family, his kids, things that we did before, the $100 that I lost from the pool game. We talked about friends. We talked about everything.
Now, Rick, he's pretty much old school.
Yes.
What was he like to work with in terms of getting your spots in?
In terms of getting my spots, they were always very generous. Rick was very generous. And being Ric Flair, he did not have to be. They could have just used me as eye candy, but they involved me in the match. The thing that he and Randy always agreed upon was that you could never use me too much in the match because I never went overboard. I always tried to compliment the guys. When they needed some rest time in there, I took the attention, but I knew when it was time to give it back. And what we got from all of that and all that communication was the fans got a really good show. Yeah.